So today, I'm joined by this very special guest, and she's the proof that not all the producers are the evil. The producers can be really nice people, and she is great. She's great. So without further ado, let me just invite her, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
Hi,
How are you?
pretty good. How are you? Oh my God, I'm
I'm
so
good.
happy.
I'm good. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna hug you.
I know. I'm
Yay!
like video hugging you. Hi.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it has been well since I've seen you in person. Several
Yeah,
years.
several years ago. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got a dog.
I know. That's part of my conversation as well because now you have like this little kid of yours.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Her name is Comet.
Comet. It's a nice name. It's a nice name.
We should just feature her only.
Of course, of course. She's so cute. She's so cute. Yeah. Kaylee, thank you so much for making the time.
Yes, I'm so
Yeah.
excited. This is
I'm so
such a great
excited.
idea. You have so many incredible friends and connections that I'm like, yeah, this makes so much.
You're among them. See?
I feel so awkward.
Nice.
I never
No,
do this.
it's so good because I don't know if you know this, but you played a very special moment in my career because you were the person that I talked to when Buck contacted me to hire me. And during my first day at Buck, you were the person who set me up with everything.
Yeah.
You took me to meet everybody and make sure that everybody knew my name and show my desk, show my computer,
Yeah.
ask me if I need anything to work. So you made me felt way less scared, you know,
Oh,
because and I'm so thankful to you, you
thank
know.
you.
So yeah, it's so great and so great that you grew as a great producer now, and you were in Portland, right?
Yeah, yeah. My boyfriend and I moved, and actually, he has the same story. He says that his
Uh-huh.
first memory is coming out of the office. Oh, sorry, coming out of the elevator at Buck to freelance,
Uh-huh.
and I was holding my friend Annika's pug, Stella. I'm sure Annika. And I think I just said hello and then handed him a pug, and he was like, "What do I?" What do I do with this? And so, yeah, he's always said that that was his first memory of being like, this chick's kind of weird.
It's
Um,
great. Yeah.
but yeah, we moved up to Portland, what was it, like 2.5 years ago,
Yeah.
because the amazing people at Oddfellows asked me to
Yes.
come on board as a producer here. So, yeah, and also it's just a really beautiful place. We actually have summer. I think you can tell it is hot. This is my so
do
yeah,
you
it's
do you do you miss LA at all or no?
I miss my friends.
I know.
I met so many beautiful, amazing people in Los Angeles. It's such an
Hmm.
incredible place for connections, for artists, for talent, for doing things. But overall, Portland has been like a really nice lifestyle fit. It's like allowed us to have a house that we rent and get a puppy and go hiking and
Yes.
this has a really amazing work-life balance, and they really respect a lot of your needs as an individual to kind of have free time or to develop your own projects or to cook, like whatever you need to do. And so that was really feeling quite appealing to me at the time, and it would be really
Mhm.
hard to go back to the grind of Los Angeles, I think.
I know. Can I tell you a secret? It's not a
Yeah,
secret because we're doing this live,
yeah,
but I'm trying to convince my wife to go to Portland.
yes,
Because yeah, but she's yeah, we still need to have some conversations and see how it goes because I feel like Portland it's becoming one of the most nice little hotspots,
yeah,
there, and it's very full of creativity. It's
yeah,
full of interest people, you know, like to collaborate with. So yeah, you know, like Oddfellows, this like those guys are amazing,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like.
I mean, Portland is definitely becoming a hotspot, and you're seeing it a lot with like, tech industries moving in here as well. A lot of people
Mhm.
who don't want to have startups in San Francisco, or that Seattle's becoming too expensive, or is expensive, are moving it into Portland, and people are kind of coming here, flocking in really. And actually,
Mhm.
a lot of my friends here, connections are people who I knew in Los Angeles and who have ended up moving up here for work and for work-life balance and to afford property, or like, whatever it is that you're kind of like looking for. You
Mhm.
have family, obviously, so it would be some space.
Yeah, a lot of nature, and which I think is good because, you know, to be honest, I kind of miss rain. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
from São Paulo. São Paulo rains a lot. You know, I think it's a little bit too much, but here in California, we don't see rain very often, and I kind of miss that.
yeah, I mean, you'll get over it. Yeah, it's no joke. It really does rain. It's rainy like at least 6 months of the year. But when the summer
Okay,
comes through, it's hot. Like it's been over 90 for the last 3 weeks. Or in,
nice.
in Celsius for my Celsius people, but like over 30,
Yes.
like 3 weeks. So it definitely has the heat, but and it's also really accessible. Like my boyfriend flies down to Los Angeles a lot. It's a 2-hour flight.
Adam, right?
Yeah, Adam.
He's the best. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where he is, but he's definitely hiding.
He's such a nice guy. Yeah, he worked at Buck as well. Yeah, so I worked with him briefly because he's the 3D guy, and
Yeah,
I'm just the monkey doing the After Effects
just the
thing, you
monkey.
know. Yeah.
Slap the monkey. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So you're an immigrant, right?
Yeah,
You're
just like you.
from Australia. So first thing I gotta ask you, is it true that you guys call ACDC Akadaka?
Yes. Akadaka.
Really?
How did you know that?
That's such a cool thing to, you know, it's amazing, you
Well,
know. I've
Australians
been
are really lazy. We want to shorten everything down to like the bare minimum, even to the point of just like sounds rather than
uh-huh.
like ACDC is a long acronym, so Akadaka.
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 Akadaka. I like that. Sometimes I get myself talking to my wife, well, let's listen to some Akadaka, or and she,
Akadaka.
what? You know?
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh,
That's
I'll
cool. That's
that
cool.
out some more. Hmm.
Yeah, so you move mainly to LA, right? When you
Hmm.
moved to the United States. So you don't have much of a comparison to make in terms of states. And after LA, you went to straight to Portland.
Hmm.
How different Australia is to Portland? Like in terms of culture, in terms of weather, and
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, so I'm from Sydney, Australia,
Mhm.
and I moved to the States about 7 years ago on like a work permit. That was only supposed to be a 1-year permit, that then kept being extended. The amazing people at Buck gave me that opportunity and kept extending my visa and my opportunity to work in the States. And then, of course, after a little while, I ended up moving up to Portland, same arrangement. So I'm still on a work permit. So I've been here for 7 years. I'm on a work permit, and it renews every 2 years. And so first of all, like huge, want to reach out to everyone who is struggling with visas right now, especially in this Trump administration. Like
Yeah.
I cannot believe what's happening. My heart goes out to every single person who's on an H-1B
Mhm.
day one, and who is struggling to know what's going to happen to them in the coming months. It makes me really upset. And personally, like I kind of got back through myself. My visa renewed in mid-February, or
Oh,
uh,
perfect timing.
yeah, mid-February. I came back into the States early March, and then by mid-March, like Australia had shut their borders, and then of course
And
the world, as we all
as
know.
as
So like,
as immigrants, it's not easy just being, you know, here in United States to work. It's
yeah,
like, besides all the bureaucracy, there's the culture, there's a lot of things going on, and the bureaucracy for visas here in United States, it's ridiculous. You know, it's crazily amount of paper. It's
Yeah.
horrible. You know, it's
It's so
horrible.
expensive. It takes so long. Then for them to hold them up and then, not be processing green cards right now.
Yeah.
But having people on the line who are trying to renew their visas for, October, everyone who's on an H-1B, like, oh. Anyway, so hearts
Mhm.
out to all those people. But to answer your actual question about like, how does Australia
Yeah.
differ?
Hmm.
Yes, I mean, I'm from Sydney, so Sydney is the biggest city, most populated city in Australia. It's about 4 million people. So moving from Sydney to LA was a huge culture
Yeah.
shock and like a slap in the face in terms of population and like busyness and activity.
Hmm.
And then moving up to Portland after that was like the opposite shock. Portland has like 650,000 people. And so it's like where are the people? Like, and for like here, I was like, no, where are the people though? Where are they hiding?
It's
Um,
only grass.
that was strange. It was really strange to experience that, but there were a lot of creative people in Portland and a lot of creative people in Sydney
Yeah.
um, who those parallels feel a little closer to me than Los Angeles and Sydney or Los Angeles and Portland, because LA is just like on crack. It's like it's on fire. It's so much activity. There's so much like going on, and
Yeah.
there's so much personal pressure that you end up putting on yourself to succeed, to work hard, to be the best, and it's tiresome, and it burns you out. And some people definitely like thrive in that and can come back and keep working.
Hmm.
Other
Hmm.
people, need to kind of step away and like find a different version of themselves. And so that's kind of what we looked for when we decided to move to Portland.
That's great. That's great. I'm so happy for you. And you are working with these amazing people from Oddfellows, right?
Yeah, the
How's
Oddfellows.
that? How's that?
They're wonderful. Yeah, so Oddfellows, again, a bit of a change of speed. I went from working at Buck, an amazing company, huge company,
Mhm.
international company, hundreds of people, to working with the team here at Oddfellows, who right now we're about 16. So
Mhm.
it's very much a family. Obviously, we scale hugely with freelance,
Yes.
but I've really just appreciated the position that like Oddfellows has been able to offer me. They definitely care about like my personal experience, my opinion, and I definitely have a voice, which is really exciting, very like an amazing experience just to kind of have that level of contact with your
Mhm.
employers and to really feel that closeness. And yeah, I don't know, it's been a really good fit for
Yeah,
me.
but I think you said it all. You know, like what I like the most about Oddfellow and some other little studios there is that they don't have the aiming or the desire to be like huge, you know. And not being huge means that you can include people in. Like you said, it's a
Mm,
family, and the smaller you guys are, the better it's for the artist to put your voice more, out there, and you feel like you're part of something
yeah.
bigger, even though you were in a smaller scale.
Right, and I think it definitely it depends on the company's goals, and
Yeah.
also employees. Different employees value different things, and what you're looking for in a company. There's obviously so many exciting, amazing perks to working at a really big studio who have really big goals, and like a lot of people around. But
Hmm.
there's also perks to working in more of like a boutique situation where you know every single person around you.
Yeah.
You kind of develop a shorthand with them, and it feels very much like a family. And
Hmm.
having worked in both, I still actually I'm very much an extroverted person, so like the big company culture is like I'm like, yeah, all of these people. But at the same time, there's so much value that I've personally experienced in my growth, just being in this environment. So
Uh-huh.
everyone is
Uh-huh.
different, but for me, it's working out.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. How is for you to be producing?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it was something that I was working toward for several years, and taking the leap to kind of go in it by myself, when joining Oddfellows was terrifying.
I know.
Yeah, we moved to a new city, a new team, and also
Uh-huh.
sort of stepping into that production or producer role. It
And
was a
with a
little,
big with a big company, you know, like it's
yeah,
not big in scale, but like Oddfellow has a great name out there.
sure, yeah, absolutely. And obviously, we're just wanting to do well and be trustworthy.
Yeah.
But Oddfellows is extremely encouraging for me, and they've always sort of been there to support me. Also, all of my previous people that I worked with, a lot of the producers that I worked with at Buck and the EPs there, they were supportive in my transition and like being available for me for questions. So I just feel like I've been very fortunate in the experiences
Hmm.
and the people, just the people that I've met, and everyone kind of coming together to just sort of want to propel you forward,
Yeah.
is a really positive experience for me. I know that's not everybody's experience, and a lot of people choose freelance,
Uh-huh.
especially because of that. It might be something that's kind of more appealing to them if they're not feeling like they're creative. But in my position, and with my inflexibility of being on a work visa, I'm very pleased with like what I've been able.
And for you, what is the most challenging part of being a producer?
Um, Usually the most challenging part is uh, trying to hold firm to what the studio wants, what the artist wants, what our creative
Mhm.
directors are looking for in a project, but also understanding that we do work in the commercial industry and our clients need to have a say. It's their end
Yes.
product. They're the reason that we're doing that project. And trying to be able to balance and value both of those things to come to this end goal that everyone is happy with.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, because it's important to be on the same team as both factions. If you kind of like, oh, the client's evil. Well, the client's asking us to make this project and we need to support them and make what they're looking for. And typically the only reason people feel like that is they might be giving a piece of feedback that's in contrast to the creative aspirations of the artists. And that's hard because creativity is very much subjective.
Yeah.
We all feel differently about what is needed to bring something to life in the way that we feel is valuable and exciting. So trying to like understand that perspective, understand the needs of your client, especially if you have a client who feels like they really want to have a creative opinion, and then bringing that together is like very much.
I feel like the producer job is just like a couple therapist, you know? Yeah.
We
You
have
have
a
to.
therapist, and I would say yes.
You have just to make sure that everybody's happy, that everybody understands each other,
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, they release a baby to the world, you know, in the best way possible, you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Communication, it is the hardest. It's the hardest thing is positive and effective communication, making sure you understand what you're talking about. That's really
Yeah.
hard. As a producer who did not have a design or animation schooling or background, um, trying to trying to truly understand what these feedbacks and these changes would actually mean for your artist, that's really difficult because I never worked in Photoshop. I never opened After Effects. I don't know what all these things mean in Maya. Like, I don't know. And so I had to really slow down, and Buck gave me a lot of space to do this, is to slow down and try and understand what each artist is doing, what the pipeline is, why these things may be difficult, and not
Yeah.
assume an answer for your artist team, but instead ask them, ask them what they actually think, what this
Yeah.
really means, how much time it would actually take, and be on their team, and not be the devil, you know?
See? So you're doing a great job not being the devil. I think that's pretty much it. I think it's that. But sometimes the producer, they have to play this role, right? And we have to understand that because it's for as you said, we're talking about clients here. You know, they have their needs. We're doing this stuff. Although we artists, we have our vanity or whatever ego. You know, sometimes we have to put this aside because in the end of the
And
day, we still have to deliver a project. We still have we're being paid to do something for a third party, you
right.
know. And I totally understand that. And I stopped arguing with producers a very long time ago, and I understand
Yeah.
now that you guys yeah, no, but I understand that you guys are on our side, and it's nice to people to hear this perspective, you know, like to see that we all can get along very well and be happy at the end of the day,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I mean, I think that if there are instances where people have felt like the producers are the bad guy, it could just be that their relationship with the producer or
Hmm.
the producer's relationship with
I
them is
agree.
wrong, you know, and it's not ideal to just be the person who comes in and delivers bad news all the time. I
Mm,
think you do have to make an active effort to look at the work being done, to
yeah.
hope that you're excited about it if you are. And just engage in your people and your projects, and then hopefully when shitty notes come up, you guys can work together and not just be like, "Oh, no, no, no," you know.
Yeah. No, and why the reason that I decided to bring you on this, it's because you have such a great attitude about everything, you know, like, and I got to work with some producers that they made the work to be way worse than the work's supposed to be, you know.
Right.
So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of horrible, but
Yeah, and there can be different experiences, you know.
yeah.
um, and but for me and for a lot of producers that I've personally worked with, your attitude is kind of everything. Your engagement with your team is everything.
Yeah.
And you know, just trying to be honest and trying to truly understand what it is
Hmm.
that you're re requesting, you know, and like what that really will take from the team. I think as long as you have that understanding and you can communicate that back,
Hmm.
uh, typically that allows your relationship to feel a lot better, and be willing as a producer to push back on the client end if what they're asking for is unreasonable, rather than telling your artist like, oh well, bend over, it's going to be like,
Yeah.
you know. uh, so, and then, you know, there are circumstances where all sorts of things have to happen, but for me, I try to hold forefront just like positive communication and like team building, and
That's cool.
I just like talking to people, so it's like,
That's great. That
it's like
it's a
I don't know.
plus. It's a plus. And that's why I wanna ask you a really cheesy question.
Okay.
Super cheesy, super cheesy. Because in all the podcasts, in all like interviews, people tend to do with designers, motion designers, directors, or whatever. They ask, what kind of advice can you do for someone that it's trying to become an artist or trying to become a motion designer? In your case, do you have any tips that you can give to someone that wants to become a producer?
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, excuse me.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, working as an assistant or production assistant or interning was really effective in me learning the ground skills of production management and what is needed to manage a project.
Hmm.
I think that a lot of those skills are very transferable between different industries.
Hmm.
However, there are nuances, of course, of the motion industry that you need to learn. And I do feel that learning the skills of working with the calendar, communicating with clients, budgeting, scheduling is extremely important. But on the flip side, it's extremely important to learn the nuances of the industry that you're trying to apply those skills to.
Yeah.
So for me, doing that through junior positions and just being able to watch, listen, ask questions
Learn.
was really helpful. But I understand that sometimes people want to transition when they're not 22. And so like
Hmm.
in that case,
Hmm.
it really like trying to produce short films with artists that you admire, or offering to production coordinate on a project as you're kind of learning those skills. that can be really handy. And if you already have like the management side of things, promotional opportunities will arise probably a lot quicker because you already kind of have. But I think being humble and being understanding that you don't know everything is very helpful.
That's great. No, yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I don't think I will ever be able to be a producer because, you know, not just the fact of the communication, but the producer needs to be a very organized person. I don't know if I'm organized enough to be a producer, but I'm glad that we have people like yourself that can help us to deal with our stuff daily and talking to the client and do all the dirty work
Well, and a
that
lot of
we,
people do transition from studying design or animation into production
yeah.
because in film they were the producer and they're like, oh, this is actually really kind of and I think, or a lot of people start their own or start freelancing and they have to do these things.
Uh-huh.
Like my boyfriend Adam, he freelances, and oftentimes he has to kind of like budget what he's going to, how he's going to produce. So you probably, if you're freelancing, you
Yeah,
probably
yeah, you
already
have
doing
to
these
do a
things.
little, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just on a different level, obviously, with a lot more people involved, with the
Mhm.
responsibilities of a company, you know. But yeah, people transition, I think, all the time. If you find that you like management, and
Uh-huh.
management in, I mean management to say project management, overseeing
Sure.
kind of what's going on, not just like managing people. I
Yeah.
think it's
And
a good
what
role toward.
and what is for you the difference between working for a big company, like when I say big, I mean scale company, like Bug with over 200 people in there, and working for a company with only 16 people? Of course, besides to be more like a family, besides to be more integrated, do you feel, what are the challenges in both of these different scenarios?
Actually, interestingly, I would say the experiences are pretty similar because I am in both of these scenarios, I'm managing several projects at a time with several different creative directors with different teams that are scalable from anywhere between like having, I don't know, 5 people on the project to having like 25 or more. And that variety hasn't changed
Mm-hmm.
between working in like a very large studio and working in a smaller studio because basically you just grow and scale up, right? So
Yeah,
like I
you're
can,
faster.
yeah, there's only
Mm-hmm.
so many projects that I can manage at a time, no matter how big the studio is. And so if the studio is doing more work, they have more producers and more teams. And so for me, it's been pretty similar. And in terms of like everything, actually. So the only difference that really changed in terms of projects for me was that uh, Oddfellows was extremely open and responsive towards remote workers
Uh-huh.
and working because we were located in Portland and there's not as
Yes.
many people in Portland, especially in this industry. Oddfellows was super open and receptive to
Mm-hmm.
artists all around the country and abroad. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but in like a larger studio who's based in Los Angeles, at the time, they were mostly wanting to work with in-house artists, which was totally easy because it was Los Angeles.
Sure, yeah.
Amazing talent everywhere. Obviously, in COVID, I'm sure that has changed for everybody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, do these crazy times. I think people are getting more open to this kind of philosophy, you know, to hire
Yeah,
people
yeah. I mean,
overseas and
you can't function as a studio right now without being okay working remotely. So I think
mm-hmm.
this change has probably really opened up and changed the pipeline for a lot of studios, especially ones that maybe were more grounded in like, oh, I'm in New York, I only work with the New York team, whatever it might be. But
Mm-hmm.
that was a really big difference that I experienced was working with time zones and just building teams
Yeah.
internationally rather
Yeah.
than in my city.
Yeah. That's was you just replied one of my questions, you know,
Oh,
because I want to yeah. But that's great. That's great because I wanted to talk to you about the challenges of being a producer in times like these, you know, where people are working remotely and people are, you know, you have to keep everybody in one place, even though it's like in a cloud or whatever, you know. So
oh, you mean like the data, or do you
Not the
need?
data, but you know, like you have to keep everything in the same place, even though people are all over the world, you know, like,
Oh,
so you have to
yeah.
keep the communication short. So you guys at Oddfellows, you guys use Slack, you
Thank
know,
God for
you got
Slack. Slack should own the
Slack,
world.
you
Oh
know.
my God. What would people be doing without Slack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we use a lot of Slack,
Google
Google,
Sheets,
yeah, different Google
things like
Sheets.
that.
Very much, very Google friendly here at
Hmm.
Oddfellows. Hi, Google. Yeah, we're very Google friendly. A lot of like, so many more video meetings, which means that I have to do my hair way more than I would like to. But yeah, I think for us, the transition really wasn't as difficult because we
Yeah.
were already working with remote teams a lot. Like we would
Hmm.
usually have, at least for us, the producer and the CD, and then at least like one to two other artists usually were in-house.
Hmm.
But beyond that, we would work with remote and international workers all the time.
Hmm.
So we were already used to working on Google Drive as needed, working through Slack,
Hmm.
and then building building our projects with pieces from everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think for us, it was mostly just like, okay, like now I just don't see my physical team anymore, but everyone else I'm kind of communicating
Yeah.
with.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, the times that I work with other fellows, I felt like you guys were super organized in keeping everything on track, but at the same time, you guys were super chill, but not chill in a bad way, chill in a good way. You know, you guys didn't stress me at all, like during the project. I didn't have like I can say that I would say like I never stressed with Oddfellows at all. Like I think
Great.
it's one of the studios that never got me any headache at all. And I'm not saying that because you work there or you know
Yeah, yeah.
whatever,
I'll
but
pay you for this later. This is great.
okay, okay, we can talk this later. No, but I like the way you guys keep everything organized and you know without being pushy. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That's, really an attitude that I think the studio founders really foster, and it's very important to them. And they also hire people who also have that same
Mhm.
attitude. It's very important, actually, a personality fit for our team. I mean, obviously skills are really important too, but it's almost
Yeah.
like equally valued is just having the same attitude as a team, because we do feel like the work can get done, and being positive and like low pressure and like just being reasonable, as much as you possibly can, is like the most effective like teamwork strategy, and that really comes top down. This partners are very much like in that, and they
Yeah.
then give that to the producers, and they give that to their ads and cds and all of their team. So yeah, I mean, it is a different type of philosophy, and I do think a lot of boutique studios have similar ideology.
Yes.
It is a bit more like family, I guess.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, well, small Oddfellows plug, since we're on this topic. We
Uh-huh.
actually to hire animators at the moment.
Oh,
So
really?
so Ariel, you want to jump? Not really there.
I
But yeah,
think maybe if if I have a great excuse to my wife to go to Portland,
yeah,
I would
exactly.
love.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, it definitely in this COVID landscape, it's been like a minute for our studio, and I'm sure for every studio, to kind of figure
Uh-huh.
out how reacting to this. What does
Yeah,
hiring look like? Can we hire? Like, where are we with that? And Oddfellows is feeling really good and confident, and they're
that's
super
great.
open to remote work. And so yeah, we are looking to expand, especially our animation team.
Oh my God,
Maybe
that's great. I'm so happy for you guys. Really. Yeah. I'm
plug.
so happy for you guys. Yeah. Because I know like during these times, people usually it's an uncertainty, you know, we don't know what's going on with this thing going on out there, if vaccine is going to be the only way, so we don't know, so people are afraid to do like big leaps, you know, but I'm so glad, you know, that you guys are great. I'm a big fan and
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it definitely, I'm sure like everyone experienced the same type of thing. Like individuals, our freelancers, studios, clients, everyone kind of took a moment to be like,
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah.
how is this going to net out? But you know, we really want to be like strong and part of this industry and like give back. And actually, in that same spirit, we have actually launched a mentorship program.
Wow.
A few of the different employees and the studio partners kind of like help put together to try and hold some space for people, especially BIPOC people, to have an opportunity to kind of have a chat with someone that they want to connect with, basically. Like,
Sure.
so if you're an aspiring designer and you just really need some advice, there are people that in our team that you can like have a chat to, or you're opening a business and you want to talk to our CDs, like how did they do that?
That's cool.
Want to
That's
talk to me?
cool.
I love talking.
Yeah. See?
So, yeah, and that was something really close to my heart, in that I feel very strongly about developing our own, especially our own backyard, our own community, but also just giving opportunity to people who may not have had it simply because they weren't able to afford SCAD.
Yeah.
And so we want to create space for people to have those conversations and get advice or have a chat. It doesn't need
That's
to be
great.
more than that, but yeah.
But
You can,
things like that, it's like just giving a little bit of your time,
yes,
to the community. It means a lot,
yeah,
like it's so good because in the end of the day, we're all growing together, like we're all trying to find the right inspirations. We have this people or this artist or whatever that we look after. It's so good. It's so amazing that you guys are doing something like that. I'm so happy, really.
thank you.
It's
Yeah.
great.
It's really just coming from a personal position that like a lot of people at the company want that.
Hmm.
And so we were able to take some time and offer a little bit of a platform for that.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Um, like not to like keep plugging this, but if anyone is interested, just head over to the Oddfellows Instagram and there's information.
Yeah, man. Big high five to Oddfellows. Like, super
Yeah.
nice.
But back to
Yes, yes.
talking about me now.
No,
Okay.
yeah, but I want to talk about you because I know that you have a different passion besides producing. I know that you love a lot of photography and you are a great photographer. So, yeah, how did this passion came about? How did find yourself as a great photographer?
Well, I wouldn't say great.
Ah, you're good. You're good. Come on.
I would not say great. But I think that might be my own creative outlet. I'm not a designer. I'm not really able to draw. I can't animate. I can't do things like that. But I like making images, and I really like human connections. And so it sort of just kind of unfolded to try and take photos of my friends who were couples, or married couples, or people getting engaged, or
Hmm.
whatnot. And it really just started as my friends. And then I just kind of was like, oh, this industry has like a really cool aesthetic. And then I moved to Portland, and there's this like moody, like Portland Pacific
Hmm.
Northwest thing. And I was like, play this, you know? So I just do it for fun, and
Cool.
completely for fun, as my own way to, I guess, image make, and have an opportunity to kind of like, I guess, control something and put my own creative stamp
That's
on
cool.
thing.
That's
Yeah,
cool. Do you have a preference? Do you like people more? Do you like abstract things? Do you like nature?
I like photographing people, and I've really started to move more into just like portraits of people, because I just like faces, but I do like a juxtaposition. I really do like to put,
Nice.
if possible, like putting different environment and people together that maybe don't match. And sometimes I mean like costume, for example, like what they might be wearing versus what the environment would actually call for, and that juxtaposition. I like that aesthetically. And I also just like things that are kind of moody and feel intimate. Yeah, so
That's cool.
I love photographing people. And actually, because of COVID, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity, but I did recently start working on a portrait series.
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah, I took some photos of my colleagues and different friends here
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
on their porches to kind
uh-huh.
of remember this strange time that we're in.
You
Oh,
should do a, you should
Esteban!
do a, you should do like a
Esteban!
series. Oh, Esteban is here. Yeah.
I was literally just like thinking about Esteban when we were
Yeah,
talking
he's
about
the
this.
best. He's
Yeah.
in charge. Yeah. So no, no, I was telling like this idea of a series that you should do, like to take a pictures of everybody at Oddfellows at the beginning of the day, and take one photo at the end of the day, just to compare how they're gonna look.
I love that. I love that. That's a great.
You
Yeah.
should
Okay.
do it.
But like first day back when we're finally able to go back in the studio, everyone would be like, "Yay!" And at the end of the day, be like,
That's it.
"Oh, yeah."
That'd be amazing.
I love that. I'm
And I
gonna write
know
that down and pretend it was my idea.
I don't mind. Go for it. And back in the days, not back in the days, like a year ago or 2 years ago, you joined forces with those, like a group of talented ladies,
Yeah, this
like
bunch of
Troy,
amazing
like
women.
Juana Ejera,
Yeah.
badass, Audrey, Amelia. Man,
Hmm.
go get it, girl, right? Get it,
Yeah,
girl.
that's
So
exactly how it came up. Yes.
what happened? You guys are still doing stuff together,
Yeah.
or
What happened is babies.
babies? I
Babies.
know. It's Troy's fault.
Yeah, this whole story
And now
started,
Audrey's fault as well, and now Amelia's
and then
fault as well.
Amelia's fault, and then I got a puppy because I needed to be part of this. Trying. Yeah,
um,
so
there
Get a
she is.
Girl. Yeah, here they all are. They're on the comment train now.
Yeah, Allah. We are moms now, man.
Yeah, heckle. Yeah, Get a Girl started, gosh, 2017, I think.
Hmm.
Really as a place that, Troy, Amelia, and Audrey and I were all working together, and we really were just sort of wanting to find a space to create some art that was just for the girls, just things that they wanted to talk about. And what they wanted to talk about was feminism. And so we wanted to make art that represented the female or the women experience, unfiltered, ideally. And
That's
well,
cool.
obviously it's illustrated, so it's like a little bit filtered, but like just showcasing what they felt and responded to without restriction.
Uh-huh.
And so basically we kind of came together once a month. We made like a different theme, and the girls illustrated something that really touched them. And then we also invited different artists that the girls were really excited and respected to collaborate on different themes. And so that was a way to really like just make it more of a community. But overall, it was really just, it was a project that the girls just wanted to do.
That's
Um,
cool.
and yeah, I mean, we definitely like kind of kept that going very strongly for about 2 years.
Uh-huh.
But then I moved to Portland.
Yeah.
I had her baby, Audrey, and also Amelia have had their babies now. And, it just kind of took a little bit of a backseat
Do you
recently.
guys still have the Instagram account?
Yeah, still have the Instagram. We do upload content every now and then. We have a website. It is still very important to us. And Audrey's right here, like tagging.
Yeah, she's right there.
Yeah, I think it's still very important to us, and it's something that we want to always have.
Uh-huh.
But family is extremely important, as you know, and
Yes.
sometimes you need to take a sec to kind of realign and come back to it,
Hmm.
and that's okay. We don't need it to
Yeah,
be
I know. I just miss seeing your stuff, like
my stuff.
all of you girls, all of you girls stuffs, like
Thank you.
out there, like yeah, I love your work. I love Audrey's, Troy, Amelia work. So it's, yeah, I kind of miss seeing you guys out there,
Okay,
doing.
that's really helpful because this is a really great plug and push for the girls to
See?
make content.
Of course, yeah, I love to see more of that. We have
Yeah,
now this
we're trying to come
this
back.
channel. We have this channel on Instagram called Panimation.
Yes,
It's
we
yeah,
love
it's
them.
we love them. All the love to them. I love to see more content like
Yeah.
that out there,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. It's great.
Mad respect to the ladies who's for animation. Yeah, we've definitely like gone on that, taken over that account for a little bit. Obviously,
Yeah,
everyone at Blend, it was so incredible. Yeah,
yeah,
I love seeing this space for for all talent, but especially diverse talent to really like have a spot that they can kind of put their own stamp on things. And I do feel like thank God for Instagram because like that is
yeah.
really giving us yeah, some space to do that. But it's a good point. Get a Girl needs to come back. We need to go.
It needs to come back. I think the world needs you guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Choi, I see you there. Where's
Yeah, Choi, Audrey, and Amelia. Once your kid is walking, just let it be, you know, go back to your stuff.
speaking of kids, where's your child?
You asked me something. Sorry, you cut off.
Where are your kids?
Oh,
They're
my kids, I know. They are all over the place. All over the
all
place.
over.
Like a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old, they're all over the place.
They are
Like
everywhere.
I can't control them anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
you should
crazy.
put a leash on them. Not okay.
But remember, like Oliver, he's like a big boy now,
I know.
all
He's a
grown up.
human. Yeah,
He's like,
Audrey's asking as well. Where is all of it?
yeah,
He is a person, and that's mind blowing because I remember your wife having him, and that's
yeah.
crazy.
Remember, like, yeah. Now he's like, oh my God, he's a dude now. He's a dude. He's big. He's big. Audrey wants to see Oliver.
I know. We all
Yeah,
want
he's playing around. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere here. Yeah. And yesterday I found in an accident way that Instagram only allows us to do 1 hour live.
right. Yeah.
And I would love to open for our audience, our massive audience, to ask you
Oh,
some
right.
questions and to send you some love and to like whatever you want. If you want to pick something here, just go for
Oh,
it. Can
how
you
do
see,
I?
right?
Oh my gosh, how do I do this? Okay, let's see.
Can you see now?
Ah, Claudio.
Yeah,
Claudio.
there's a bunch of people
Sorry.
here for
Yeah,
you.
we're over not seeing enough boobies. One of my colleagues, Tyler Morgan, amazing, incredible animator. You should have.
Uh-huh.
He wants me to talk about the hold system.
The what? The what kind of system?
The hold system. He wants to discuss.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
he
yeah.
has very specific feelings about it. Actually, I feel like I do too. I think I have some feelings. Um, yeah, I don't know. It does feel it does feel outdated. It does feel like something that I don't know if it serves the purpose that it originally did anymore.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure it actually who it serves a lot of the time because I know
yeah.
people say, well, it serves the studios. It only serves the studios if they are booking you onto the projects.
Uh-huh.
It's not serving them if they're just like holding you for eternity. That's not really helping anybody. So, and also if you're taking like second and third holds, and it's really not serving the studios or you because
Yeah.
you have to challenge everybody. And that's so annoying. It takes so much
It
time.
is annoying. It is annoying, and
Like, why?
sometimes can be overwhelming for the artists. And to be, I kind of understand the studio perspective on the whole system because they have to prepare for the overload that's about to come. You know, but this is just like a preparation. This is not nothing for sure. So for sure benefits the studio, but it doesn't benefit the artist that much. So I
Yeah,
have mixed feelings with the holds as well. I to be honest, I don't work with holds.
yeah. I had someone recently email me and said like this. Like, I'm sorry, I'm too old for holds. And I was like, I love
That's
that.
the best question, the best answer ever. I love that. I'm gonna use that.
I thought that was amazing. And I was like, yeah, totally, because who is it serving at that point? I
Yeah,
for me, you know, I talk to a lot of artists a lot of the time, and I prefer to be as honest as possible, as much as possible. So if we are truly considering someone for a project, I will give you the project dates, and I might plus or minus a week that after in case things slip. But beyond that, you know, I try not to hold on to holds for more than like 1 to 2 weeks. Because after that, usually you know what the situation is for that project. And you, unless someone's extremely diverse artist and that they generalize and they can kind of do everything, unless it's that specific case, a lot of people are considered per specific project because they have strengths that that project might need.
Yeah.
So when you know what that team is going to look like, if you don't need that person anymore, it's not going to work out, things change. I prefer to have that communication. And so I do work really hard to reply to as many people as I can and keep people as posted as possible, because I don't know that holds really serve anyone. What I would love to do is have expressions of interest where I literally say, hey, Ariel, like I have this project coming up. It's these dates. If you're not currently booked, like, can I log an expression of interest with you or something?
Yeah.
And then when the project actually books, we can discuss it. And you might have 6 expressions of interest during that period of time, but then you have the opportunity to kind of see who comes back to you and when they do, and if that is the most exciting for you. Like I just kind of feel like that would serve everybody. Just as well. And sometimes I say that. I say, can I put an expression of interest into you?
I like that. I like that. Let's adopt that. It's
yeah. Or I mean, and I think holds are okay as long as there's a follow up. You know, as very soon after. Like I don't think it's worth it to hang on to someone for a month and not talk. Or challenging.
I don't think
the annoyingest thing ever.
Yeah, just let's not try to hold people for like 2 months.
No,
right? No, not you, but I mean like the general, because I got this request before.
It has happened. Yeah.
Are you taking holds for 2 months? You know, like things like that. So no, it's come on.
No, because I mean I don't know what that is for. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But you know, like I just prefer to be like very clear. Like we have things that are coming up, but like there are specific things that I think that person might be for interested in, and like let's discuss what those actual dates might be and see how it goes. Yeah, because challenges are also really tricky because like I constantly have artists booked on projects and they have a first hold for fucking infinity.
Yeah.
I have to challenge them for like a day or two if the job extends, and it's like, what, like why, like who is this serving? Like they need to finish the project, they want to finish the project, just because someone else at some point sent an email saying can I have a hold, like they get precedent. Like no, like you should have that conversation and make decisions, you know, based on what your schedule is and what you want to be doing.
Perfect.
So, that
Kaitlyn
might
for president
for some people.
I love that. Kaitlyn, I love to talk to you again. It's so good to see that you are great, that you are living the life in Portland, that you are surrounded by great people at Oddfellow. And yeah, so good to see you.
I miss you.
I miss you too, yeah.
Portland.
Hope when all this pandemic crazy stuff fades away, we're gonna drive up to Portland and yeah. Let's get together, everybody, and let's do like a big party.
Absolutely, yeah. You know that's happening. We definitely.
I know. That's why I'm saying, yeah.
Thanks, Ariel. Thank you so much for having me on. And if anyone has any other questions,
just go for it.
You can message me. I like to reply.
She's the nicest. She replies for sure.
Okay, let's comment. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Thanks everybody for joining us. Yeah, this was the lovely Kaitlyn, and yeah, it was so good talking to you all, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.